On the Democratic side, millions are casting their votes in 5 states, nearly 700 delegates a state. And that's why both Senator Bernie Sanders and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton are pleading with their supporters to get out and vote.
I think that if there's a large voter turnout, we're going to do just great.
Sometimes the public reporting of polls, somebody might say, well, my candidate is so far ahead, I don't need to come out. But everybody should come out. There's so much at stake in this election.
Ryan Young is in Chicago, where Bernie Sanders held an event earlier today. Brianna Keilar is live at the Clinton campaign headquarters in West Palm Beach, Florida. Brianna, Hillary Clinton is really still shell-shocked about losing Michigan last week, where the polls had her up and she actually lost. She's trying to make sure her supporters head to the polls.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I think her campaign is feeling pretty optimistic about Florida, here, North Carolina, the overall delegate count, but not overly optimistic that she is going to stage a shutout of Bernie Sanders today. Like you mentioned, Michigan, they're worried, this campaign is, that the polls showing that she is ahead in Ohio, for instance, really can't be trusted. They're saying the polls are wrong, that what they're seeing is it's a much closer race. And you heard Hillary Clinton there. She was in Raleigh, North Carolina, really imploring voters to get out and vote. She was warning against complacency and this idea that voters will say, oh, I see my candidate is up in the polls, I don't have to go out and vote for them. All eyes on Michigan. As you said, the campaign worried that Bernie Sanders' attacks on Clinton's past support for trade pacts like NAFTA, like while she was Secretary of State at least, the Trans-Pacific Partnership, are resonating with voters, particularly in Ohio, Missouri, and Illinois, Jake.
All right, Brianna, thank you. Let's go back to Chicago, where Bernie Sanders just wrapped up a rally, and that's where Ryan Young is. Ryan, you've been talking to voters there. What are they telling you?
Jake, just a lot of energy here. In fact, we've been talking to people who've been going inside to vote. We hear a lot of people talking about they've made the switch over to Bernie Sanders. That's what we've been hearing throughout the day, especially young people. There are people who say they've been very energized by what they've been seeing all day long in terms of Bernie Sanders coming back to Chicago, hitting the streets, especially when they think about that Trump event that happened on Friday. People were screaming, Bernie, Bernie, Bernie. They're not talking about Hillary, and that has been the split that we've seen. Now, older African-American voters, we've heard a lot from them saying they're still planning to vote for Hillary, but that groundswell that we saw, especially with lines that stretched from where I'm standing all the way down the block yesterday for early voting, 90% of the people that we talked to who were voting Democrat were telling us they were voting for Bernie Sanders, so you can see a tie shift going on in this city.
All right, thank you so much. Let's bring back the panel. Bill Press.